All right, so before we get started with our notes for today, we're going to look at these phrases. So the first set of phrases mean to add, okay? The second set of phrases means subtract. The next set of phrases mean to multiply. The third set of phrases mean to divide. And this last one means the equal sign. And these are super important. Another multiply is one that's called quadruple. And another one you can put in here is the word makes for equal. And see how make is both for add and for equal. So just be careful with that. All right, so for our notes today, we're going to skip input and outputs. And we're going to start with this bit. So it's always best to list what you know and what you not know into two different categories. All right, so we're going to do that more listing and later. Right now we're going to start with refreshing our brains on how we used to use word problems. So Elvira recently was hired as a cafeteria manager at a local school, and she's trying to calculate what her weekly pay will be based on different numbers of hours she may work. Elvira will be making $15.75 an hour, and she will calculate the pay for each of the possible hours listed. So if she works 0 hours, she's going to make 0 money. If she works 1 hour, she's going to make $15.75. If she works 2 hours, she's going to make $31.50. And if she works 3 hours, she's going to make $47.25. And we're going to create an equation using hours and weekly pay. But let's think back. This is going down by 15.75. So we're using our variable, one of our variables here, right? Because this is like our common difference from back in the day. All right, so it says to use H for hours and P for pay. So H for hours and P for pay. Well, pay is the amount we get if we take 15.75 and multiply it to how many hours we work, okay? So this variable here is what gets multiplied to the math we do down our table, just like before. Remember before it used to be an N? Well, now it's an H. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this equation that we have found, and we're going to use it to figure some stuff out. Well, in this first one, it says, what will her pay be after 35 hours? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace H with 35. So I got P equals 15.75 times 35. And when I do the math for that, I get P equals $551.25. Wouldn't that be nice? I want you to do this one on your own. So pause the video and try it on your own. So hopefully you tried it on your own, and you should get $630. I'm not going to write it for the people who just zipped through the video. So Elvira was tired of calculating how many hours she needed, so instead she started with what she wanted to make and then figured out how many hours to work. So here, once again, we are still using that equation. We're just showing you different ways to plug stuff in. So this P, or this 500, represents her pay for P. So that means we're going to replace P with 500, but nothing else changes. And whoa, 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 we got one variable now. We know how to figure out this variable's number. And in this case, we're going to divide by 15.75 on both sides. And when we do that, we get 31.7 hours. So that's how many hours she has to work to make $500. So just like this one, I want you to try the next one on your own, but this time she makes $675. Once again, we are still using this equation to solve. So I want you to pause the video and I want you to try it on your own. All right, hopefully you did, and hopefully you got 42.86 or 85 hours, or 42.8 or 42.9. That's how many hours she needs to make $675. Now let's talk about her sister. So her sister works at a different school where she makes $13.25 per hour, whereas last week she made $503.58. So we're going to write an equation. So we know she makes $13.25 per hour. So that's stuff we know. We also know that last week she made $503.50. What we don't know is how many hours she worked. So when I write an equation, I always want to write the equal sign first. And then I always want to, let's write it a love note. So totals are always going to be alone on one side of the equal sign. So our total in this one is going to be the $503.50. And so we used this, so we can't use it again. So all we have left are these two pieces of information. So somehow we have to do some type of math between $13.25 an hour and H for hours. Well, whenever you're talking about money and hours like this, you want to take how much money you make and multiply it to the hours you work. Okay, every single time. So now we can actually solve this and figure out how much she actually worked by dividing 13.25 on both sides, which we should know how to do. And we get 38 for H. So she worked 38 hours to make $503.50. All right, so in the next one, I actually made a boo-boo. So I want you to fix my boo-boo with me. So we're going to replace this Ruben with Kathy. And we're going to replace this Kathy with Ruben. Okay? All right. So Kathy has 13 more assignments turned in than Ruben. Kathy has 16 assignments turned in. We're going to write an equation to find out how many assignments Ruben turned in. So right now, we know that Kathy, and I'm going to use K for Kathy, has 13 more than Ruben. Okay, I'm going to use R for Ruben. However, we also know that Kathy has 16 assignments. What we don't know is Ruben's assignments. So whenever you have problems like this that have like one variable, sometimes they kind of give you the equation written out. So what you want to look for is the equation that has both variables in it. Or you're looking at the phrase, which is this K phrase. K has 13 more than R. Okay? Well, we know that K is 16. Kathy has 16. This word has, okay, means equal for my phrase sheet, has. 13 more than R. Okay, so more than is one of those ones we have to be careful with. So more than is addition, okay? So we know it's going to be addition. However, I want you to circle the word than and write the word flip. What that means is I take this 13 and this R and flip their locations when I write this. The reason is, mostly we need to remember that for than, because when we talk about less than, that's when it becomes important. So, Ruben is our only variable, so we can actually solve for this by subtracting 13 on both sides, which gives us Ruben turning in only 3 assignments. He's definitely turned in more than that. This is just a practice problem. So in the next one, we have Kennedy has 26 pairs of shoes and Miss Rawolf has half the amount of shoes as Kennedy. Write an equation to find out how many shoes Miss Rawolf has. Well, we know Kennedy has 26, so I'm going to write K has 26, K for Kennedy. Miss Rawolf has half the amount of Kennedy's shoes. So Rawolf has half of Kennedy. What we don't know is Miss Rawolf's shoes. So again, one of these knowns are going to help us with writing our equation, which is this guy. So Rawolf has half of Kennedy. Well, Rawolf is going to drop the R. We don't know how many shoes Rawolf has. Has is still going to be an equal sign. However, if I go back and look at my reference sheet, I'm going to see that half means divide. So half means we divide by 2. And we know Kennedy, we're halving of Kennedy's, but Kennedy we know has 26. So Rawolf, if I solve here, that means Ms. Rawolf's only got 13 pairs of shoes. And I actually in real life have less than that. I have 5. While playing trash ball, Miss Rawolf noticed that the girls make double the shots of the boys, and the boys had made 16 shots. Write an equation to find out. So she noticed the girls make double the boys. So I'm going to use G for girls, make double the boys. But we also know the boys made 16 shots. What we don't know is the girl shots. So this green one is going to be the phrase that helps us write our equation. Well, we still don't know how much girls made, so we're going to bring the G down. Make means equal. Double, though, if I look at my reference sheet, double is a multiplying. And if you're doubling something, that means you're multiplying by 2. And we're doing 2 times our B. But, we know that B is 16. So 2 times 16, which means the girls made 32 shots. All right, last one. Ms. Bailey has a lot of cool decorations in her classroom. However, Miss Rawolf only has 52. And Miss Rawolf has 127 less decorations than Miss Bailey. We're going to write an equation to find out how many decorations Miss Bailey's got. So right now we know Rawolf only has 52. So I'm going to put Rawolf has 52. But we also know that Rawolf has 127 less than B for Bailey. And we're trying to figure out Bailey's decorations. So we're going to say B deco. Decorations, deco. Now the red one is going to help us write an equation. It has 127 less than Bailey. So we're not going to drop the R because we know R is 52. Has means equal. 127 less than. Now, hold up, wait a minute. First things first, less than is subtraction, but it's got that than, so I'm going to subtract, but I'm going to flip my guys here because this is my flip word. So I got B minus 127. And now I can solve because my equation is done. And to solve, I add 127 on both sides, which gives us B equals 179. That's the end of our video. Please don't forget to do your homework, and I'll see you guys in class next time.